Imagine devoting your life to creating something revolutionary, only to have that remarkable invention turn around and kill you in a twist of horrifying irony. Well, that's exactly the ghastly fate that befell these 5 ill-fated geniuses, whose world-changing ideas quite literally led to their own untimely demise. We begin with Marie Curie, the pioneering physicist who conducted groundbreaking work on radioactivity. In pursuit of her revolutionary discoveries, Curie regularly carried test tubes of radium in her pockets during experiments, exposing herself to prolonged radiation poisoning over the years. In 1934, she ultimately died from aplastic anemia, likely caused by years of radiation exposure, sacrificing her life for the scientific breakthroughs that altered our understanding of physics. Next, we travel to Paris in 1912 and the bizarre death of Austrian-born tailor Franz Reichelt. Obsessed with developing a viable parachute design, Reichelt sewed himself a rigid wingsuit intended to allow human flight from great heights. To test his revolutionary parachute suit, the overconfident inventor made a first and tragically last attempt by jumping from the observation deck of the Eiffel Tower. His parachute failed to deploy, and Reichelt plummeted over 180 feet to his death, in front of a stunned crowd. In 1863 in Philadelphia, pioneering American printer William Bullock unveiled his revolutionary steam-powered printing press designed to increase productivity. However, Bullock became entangled in the machinery's moving parts during an ill-fated public demonstration. He suffered devastating injuries in the gruesome mechanical accident and died just days later at age 54, killed by his own industrial breakthrough. The aerospace world was stunned in 1944 when up-and-coming Canadian aeronautical engineer William Nelson was killed testing an experimental jet engine he designed. At just 26 years old, Nelson was struck in the face by a piece of metal that dislodged from the engine during a routine test firing. The impact crushed his skull, snuffing out his brilliant life and promising future at the cutting edge of aviation technology. Finally, a chilling legacy of 2 disastrous inventions from American engineer Thomas Midgley Jr. in the 1920s. Working for General Motors, he created tetrathalide gasoline, a toxic additive that released poisonous lead emissions from car exhaust. Just over a decade later, while working for DuPont, Midgley helped develop chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, as refrigerants, chemicals that depleted the ozone layer. In 1944, Midgley infamously became entangled in a rope attached to a complicated system of pulleys he'd devised and died from strangulation, an ignominious end to the man who gifted the world 2 of the most environmentally destructive inventions ever created. These stories serve as stark reminders of the dual nature of progress, where innovation's leap often comes with unforeseen, sometimes tragic costs. They are cautionary tales, urging us to tread carefully on our quest for advancement. Were you captivated by the ironies of these inventors' fates, or inspired by their courage to explore the unknown despite the risks? For more tales that tread the fine line between groundbreaking and grim, stay tuned to Past Detectives. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to uncover more hidden histories and dark discoveries with us. Join us next week for another intriguing episode, right here on Past Detectives.